The only thing that can be said to be objective truth is that there is no objective truth.
Like, you kill a baby fetus, the same thing as killing any old inanimate object.
I would argue that we certainly are not all created equal.
Mark is training a new generation of leaders.
To take on the culture of death and win.
You young people, it's your movement now. It's not your parents anymore.
The blood that is shed cries out to God from the ground for justice.
And now, here's Mark.
Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mark Harrington coming to you from the Created Equal Studios. And you're listening to the Mark Harrington Show. You can find out more about our program by going to markharrington.org. That's markharrington.org. And I'm also the president of Created Equal. Well, this program will be a little different than the regular programs we have. We're talking about issues of the day. Today, we're going to be interviewing our summer interns. We believe at Created Equal that we need to be raising up the next generation of leaders to take on the culture of death and win, because winning is how the killing stops. And so every summer for now almost 9 years, we've had young people come from different parts of the country for the summer for 2 full months to be part of our summer internship. And our summer internship's different than most in that we don't just put people in the classroom and fill them with a bunch of facts, although that's okay. We teach them and we take them out. We teach them and we take them out onto the streets. We teach them and then we put them in the front of people that disagree with them and have them conduct outreach all across Ohio and some parts of the country. And so what we want to do today is we're going to be going live to Fountain Square in Cincinnati, where we have our team currently conducting outreach on in downtown Cincinnati. And we want to interview a few of our interns so you get an idea of who they are and where they're from and why they're doing what they're doing, why they feel so passionate about this. Why would they spend their summers, doing this rather than, say, taking some other job or whatever, working on their suntan? I don't know. Why did they choose to do this summer? So that's what we're going to be doing today on the program. And in order to do that, my colleague Gabriel Vance is there on the site at Fountain Square. Gabe, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, we're glad we can be here, Mark.
So here's the deal. Let's let me give it. What are you guys doing today? You left this morning. Where did you go first?
Sure. Yeah, so this is the third week of an internship. We're actually taking our first of several trips over the summer. So we left this morning, early in the morning, and we went to Dayton, Ohio to visit Women's Med Center. It's a late-term abortion facility. They do abortions up until 22 weeks. It's actually owned by Dr. Haskell, who started the partial birth abortion. And so we were there, sidewalk counseling with some of the local sidewalk counselors this morning. And now we travel to Cincinnati, Ohio, and we're doing outreach in downtown Cincinnati at Fountain Square. All 12 of our interns and some of our staff members are here with us.
So you were at Women's Med Center. And by the way, if people don't know the backstory there, Women's Med Center has been hanging by a thread for almost a decade because of their continued violations of the regulations that are put in place by the Ohio legislature. And unfortunately, they've been able to keep their facility open. And unfortunately, just earlier this year, Amy Acton, the Ohio Department of Health director, gave them a license. So unfortunately, they're still killing babies. But as long as that's happening, we're going to be out front. So now you're at Fountain Square during the lunch hour.
That's correct.
The other thing about this summer is we obviously we do a lot of classroom training. I'm sure they're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be going on the streets of Washington, D.C. later in the year or later in the summer. If you would introduce our some of our interns. Now, of course, folks, these are only 4 of the 12. We have 12 interns. You're going to get to meet 4 of them today. If you would introduce every one of them to us.
Sure, we'll go through and we'll just start down with Marina and we'll end at Rachel and let them introduce themselves to all of you.
Hi, I'm Marina Warbington. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Chesterfield, Michigan, and I decided to do this internship because I firmly believe that this is our generation's Holocaust, and I knew I couldn't just stand by and do nothing. My name is Avery Rice. I'm 16. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and I decided to do the internship because I know that abortion is wrong and I have to do everything I can to stop this injustice.
Hi, I'm Christian Harrington. I was based in Columbus, Ohio, and I went on this Pass Justice ride, not feeling any real conviction, but at the very end, I had a real obligation to defend the preborn, and Create Equal laid out a great opportunity for the next step.
Hi, I'm Rachel Vance. I'm 17 years old, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and I'm here because I believe there is no other way I can spend my summer, and I feel very called to go full-time into the pro-life movement, and I knew that the internship would be a great opportunity to learn how to do that.
Great.
All right, so there we go. There's 4 of our interns, folks. Hey, Gabe, if you would, we have a victim. Actually, it's a prenatal sign next to you. Folks, just so you know, we use victim imagery. We use abortion victim photography and prenatal signs out on the streets. We do that for a reason, because we believe that we need to communicate what abortion looks like. And the only way to do that is to use the pictures. And so, you know, a lot of people don't like that tactic. We believe it's the most effective tactic because it communicates a very complex message at a glance. So throughout Fountain Square, these sandwich boards, like you see pictured here, are set up around, and then we have our people, our young people, our interns actually handing out information to passers-by. Gabe, if you would, let's start out just asking them why some of them kind of told them why they're here this summer. If you would ask them, you know, we want to know a little bit more about the internship itself and some memorable things that have taken place. If you would just ask them that as you go through each one of them.
Yeah. Sure. So just in general, how has the internship been going for you guys, and what's one of the experiences that really stands out to you so far?
The internship's going great, better than I even expected it to. And one of the conversations that I got to have was with this young guy named Muhammad, and he had never thought about abortion, but I motioned over to the images, and I could just see the shock and disbelief in his face. And he was like, this never really came up before. And I was like, well, what do you think about abortion now? He's like, there's no way that that could ever be right in any scenario. So that was very cool to see him change his mind just because he saw the victim imagery. Yeah, the internship's been really great. We've been learning a lot in the classroom and been able to apply that in our outreaches. Yesterday I met a man in Columbus named William who said he was Christian, but he didn't know enough about abortion to have an opinion on whether it was right or wrong. After he saw our signs, he changed his mind. He said that abortion is wrong in every circumstance and that he thinks it should be made illegal.
Praise God.
Yeah, I've learned so much in the first 3 weeks of this internship, and I'm so excited to learn what Create Equal has to offer me. Yesterday, I also had a conversation with a man named Charles. He, 2 months before, he had his mind changed by a fellow staff member, Lexi Hall. And today, since I didn't really have anything to talk about abortion to him, I ended up sharing the gospel to him and having a great opportunity to pray for him as well. And that was really awesome to see.
Very cool.
The internship has been great so far. I've learned so much just in these first 3 weeks. I had a really cool experience downtown Columbus. I met a younger homeless woman, and she agreed with me that abortion was wrong. But she said that she knows many women who experience unplanned pregnancy and women who have turned to abortion. And I was able to share with her post-abortive help and pregnancy help for those women. And it was just incredible because she was willing to take that and share that. So it was a very cool experience.
It's awesome. We have so many, the rest of our interns have so many more stories just like that. I'm sure these individual interns could share with you a lot of similar stories about mind change, about sharing the gospel, bringing healing to people who need it.
Again, I'm with my interns at Fountain Square with Gabriel Vance, our media person here at Created Equal. And we're interviewing some of our interns there as they conduct outreach this summer as part of our summer internship. Gabe, the internship isn't just outreach, it's a lot of classroom activities. I'd like to know from each of them I know there have only been 2 weeks into this and we've got 6 more weeks, but what particular topic they liked the most as far as their studies go.
Sure, yeah. So they have a lot of classroom experience, including guest speakers. We haven't had a lot of those yet, but they get to study a lot of different things, from apologetics to embryology to past social reform movements, Christian apologetics, all kinds of things. So we'll kind of go through and listen from them what some of their favorite topics have been. Okay.
I really enjoyed learning more about Operation Rescue. I didn't really know much about it before I came on this internship. I had heard some things about it, but then learning about how these people were willing to go to jail and just to stop people from killing babies was very inspiring. One of the books that we're reading, The White Rose, I had never heard of that organization. It was an anti-Nazi group in Germany, and it's been really interesting reading about them and their movement, and that's probably been my favorite part.
Yeah.
We all know that those who deny history are doomed to repeat it. And it was a great opportunity to learn about the past reformers and what they did right and what they did wrong, so that we can learn from them and ultimately end abortion.
Yeah, great.
I really enjoyed learning the history of our fellow people who fight with us for the unborn in the past, and just learning from how they went about it, and just taking things from them to put into our own work.
Yeah. Great.
That's great. So we're only 2 weeks into the internship, and it sounds like Operation Rescue was a big hit. Here's the thing with that, and I just want to share this. A lot of pro-life activists don't even learn our own history. We like to talk about the civil rights movement, other movements, anti-war, anti-child labor, and other movements that are similar to ours, but we rarely talk about the people that have gone before us, because our movement is now 46 years old. Operation Rescue was a civil disobedience movement or a biblical obedience movement, depending on how you look at it, that really brought a lot of people out to the abortion centers and called for the nation to repent for the shedding of innocent blood. And so I spent some time sharing the story, the history of Operation Rescue, in that we should be willing to adopt some of their beliefs, not meaning that we have to break in the law necessarily, but they treated abortion like murder, and we should as well. Hey, Gabe, let's try this. I know that you're a little bit further away from some of the other interns, but if you would, we can dismiss our 4 there, and let's just make our way over to the sidewalk or near the street corners there, and maybe we can get a picture of what the outreaches look like. Again, you're listening to your radio activist here, so go ahead and make your way over to the...
Okay. Thank you guys for being on the show today. We're going to get around and try to talk to some of the other interns, okay?
So you're listening to your radio activist here on the Mark Harrington Show. You can find out more by going to markharrington.org. Also, folks, it's not too late to sign up for our Day of Action. Our Day of Action. You can find that at our website at createdequal.org/Day of Action. You can find out more about that. That's happening June 28 and 29. June 28 and 29. It's not too late to sign up for that. That's really a day and a half of apologetics training and then activism on the street. So on Sunday night, we'll be speaking to you and training you on pro-life apologetics, tactics, and then on Monday morning, we'll hit the streets by going to overpasses, to the abortion centers, and then to downtown squares. So, Gabe, if you would, can you move up to where those that conversation is happening and see if we can capture that? So you can see, folks, we're on the street here in Cincinnati, Ohio, Fountain Square, with our abortion victim photography display, and we have students, our young people, out talking to others. If you would, Gabe, go ahead and see if you might be able to interview that young man.
Sure. Excuse me, sir. We're actually redoing some interviews about the outreach here today, some of these signs. Could I just get your opinion on these pictures and what they make you think?
Well, I got a 7-month-old baby. He's gonna be 8 months on the 26th, and I don't approve of it. Like I don't like it. I'm not for it. If anything, I really would be against abortion. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Like, I don't like abortion. I'm against it. Like, I plan on having more babies. Like, I'm not with it. Anybody who's with it, like, we're not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't think we'll ever be seeing eye to eye, like anybody who's with abortion.
Every abortion intentionally kills an innocent human being, right? We have to take a stand against that. We believe in human equality, human rights.
That's life. As long as it's a heartbeat, that's life, man. So you're taking a life with abortion. You know what I mean? No matter how effective the baby might be or anything, like, it's effective enough to have life in it. So why would you be able to take that? You know what I mean? Sure.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
And then, based off your decision, you decided to make that baby, no matter how.
Get the microphone closer, Gabe.
Creating the baby, could have been a bad relationship, anything, but it's still a decision. Like, you decided to do that, to create the baby. But like with rape mothers, like, by not having consent with that mother, like, by if you actually rape her, like, I'm not with that either, though. Like, but I'm still not with the abortion thing, because everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But if it was any opinion on the abortion, like, if they just had a program based off of rape mothers, you know what I'm saying, then I probably could push towards that more, you know what I'm saying, knowing that it wasn't consensual. But anything else besides that, I'm not with it.
So well, I think we would agree that the rape is wrong, right? Because the rape hurt that innocent woman. But if the woman conceives a child after that, there's 3 people involved. There's a rapist, there's a woman, and there's that innocent child. Out of those 3 people, who's the one who should be punished? If we're going to kill or punish anyone, who should it be?
I mean, it should be the rapist, right?
Exactly.
You know
so what about that child?
Like, as far as the mother, like, if it would be up to, like, if it came to the adoption thing. I'm only with that based off of a mother that has been raped, you know what I'm saying, not consensually asking to have this baby, like the adoption thing, if that was up. But I'm not with adoption anyway, but if, like, for a rape mother, it's like, it's different standards, it's different levels that, you know what I'm saying, with a rape mother or a rape woman actually having a baby, like, you know what I'm saying?
Because abortion after rape is just one more crime, right? It's another action that intentionally hurts an innocent human being, hurts an innocent child. So if anything, we should give that mother.
Apparently, this young man's against abortion, except for the case of rape.
Whatever her decision may be, you know, because that is a rock and a hard place right there, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a male, but I could never imagine it. You know, we could never, you know, we would never know how to feel, even to be a woman to go through something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you for talking to us, sir. All right, you have a good day. Mark, we could go around.
Yeah, go ahead. You got Rachel right there. Go up there and ask Rachel how things are going.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it will be online.
So again, we're at Fountain Square with our interns and some of our staff members, and Gabriel Vance is joining me.
We're on
from on site.
We're on. I want to introduce you guys to Victoria. This is one of our interns who's with us this summer, and we're interviewing different interns for the Mark Harrington Show right now. So we just wanted to hear kind of how the summer's been going for you, and kind of a takeaway you've had from either outreach or the classroom, or just something that stood out to you.
It's been really good. I've learned so much. I'm just overwhelmed with how much we've been learning, like apologetics and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I just had a conversation with a woman, and she completely changed her mind on abortion. She was really pro-abortion for people who have been raped, and she completely changed her mind. So it's really cool to see.
Great. Yeah, that's really good to hear. Yeah, great. We could go over and interview one other intern. We have somebody else on the other side of our outreach.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, sure. We'll walk over. This is Isaac. His sister did the internship a couple years ago, and she inspired him to come back and do it himself.
Cool. Yeah, let's hear from him. So again, you're listening to the Mark Harrington Show. Go to markharrington.org or createdequal.org to find out more. We're coming to you live from the Fountain Square in Cincinnati with our summer interns with Gabriel Vance.
All right, so this is Isaac Mannering. We'll let him tell you his age and where he's from and why he's here doing the internship.
Hello, I'm Isaac, as he just said. I am 19. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm doing the internship because I thought I needed to do something about this abortion that's so prevalent and so terrible. And I wanted to get some experience and learn how to do this better so that when I go back to Indiana, I'll be able to lead better.
Great. And what's something from the internship, either the classroom training or outreach, subtle counseling at abortion facility, what's something that's really impacted you so far? We're not even halfway through yet, but if you could share an experience with us, that would be great, Isaac.
Yeah. So I've really enjoyed learning how to sidewalk counsel. I've been out at the abortion clinic in Indianapolis holding a sign for 10 years or so, but I never really sidewalk counseled. And Gabe taught me how to sidewalk counsel a lot, and getting experience doing it, calling out to the women who are going into the clinic has really helped me grow and made me more confident doing it.
That's great. And even on our first day, we saw one mother turn away from her abortion appointment and decide to leave the Planned Parenthood. So God's already been bearing great fruit through our sidewalk counseling program during the internship.
That's awesome. Again, we're coming to you from Fountain Square as part of the internship this summer. And let me just address the parents in the audience that might have a young person. You can't do it this summer, but it's not too late or too early, I guess, to sign them up for our winter justice ride, where we go to Florida for an entire week of training and outreach. And then from there, maybe involving your young person, your son or daughter, in the summer internship. It's kind of a minimal cost. We actually help our interns raise their own personal support. And this is kind of a way for them to kind of try out as to whether they want to become a full-time pro-life activist or not. So we take them to the justice ride, then we get involved with the internship. They kind of test the waters as to whether this is something they'd want to do full-time. And then after that, if they're interested, they could be part of our gap year internship. That's a 9-month commitment. And then after that, maybe they'll consider going full time. So this summer we have 12 interns, and we're about two and a half weeks through it. We got 5.5 weeks left, and part of that will be going to Washington, D.C. And when we go to Washington, we'll go to the White House, we'll go to the Supreme Court. We'll also be protesting at the Food and Drug Administration, trying to get them to hold the line on their regulations regarding the abortion pill. So, Gabe, if you would give us a kind of a parting words from Fountain Square.
Okay. Well, like you've heard, we've already had minds changed on the square today. I can look around and I can see several interns currently in conversations. And through the internship, they've had over 24 minds changed so far. So if all the viewers could just keep us in their prayers, praying especially for divine appointments, so we can encounter people, change their heart and their mind on abortion, especially share healing and share the gospel with them. We'd really appreciate that. We're glad we were able to be on the show today.
All right, Gabriel Vance coming to us from Fountain Square. Thanks, Gabe. You've been listening to the Mark Harrington Show, folks. Don't forget, Day of Action coming up. Day of Action coming up, June 28, 29, here in Columbus. It's a day and a half, actually, where we have classroom training on Sunday night, and then the day after that on Monday, we'll be conducting outreach at different locations all around the city of Columbus, on overpasses, downtown squares, and at the abortion centers. This is an opportunity for you to also test the waters. If you're looking at what's happening in America right now and you want to make a difference, there's no better place to involve yourself than in the pro-life movement, defending preborn babies, defending equality, defending the preborn. You can help by joining us at createdequal.org. Go to createdequal.org. You can find out more about the Day of Action. We need your help. Our movement needs your help. Our country needs your help right now, as we're facing several crises, as you know, with what's going on. It's pretty crazy out there, and it's time for us to stand up for the most marginalized among us, which are the unborn, who are being discriminated in the numbers of 2,600 deaths every day. Almost 1 million babies are killed every year, and over almost 60 million since 1973. We've got a Holocaust on our hands, folks, and we need to stand up and raise our voice in defense of the preborn. So you can be part of the Day of Action. That's June 28 and 29, Day of Action, June 28 and 29. You can find out by going to our website at createdequal.org/Day of Action if you want to sign up and be part of the effort. You've been listening to your radio activist here on the Mark Harrington Show. We'll see you next time. God bless you. God bless America. And remember, America, to bless God.
You've been listening to Mark Harrington, your radio activist. For more information on how to become a witness against the evil plague in America, call Created Equal at 614-269-7808. That's 614-269-7808. Or go online to createdequal.net. Createdequal.net. Be sure to tune to the Mark Harrington Show next time for your marching orders in the culture war.